hello. I just wanted to congratulate the Queens of Woodcrest for 2 full seasons. And here's the 2 more, because that's all they have.
It's about the love change. Do it with some soul and a little love change. Yeah, it's about the love change. Do it with some soul and a little love change. You can't make a change unless you got the love change. Do it with some soul and a little love change. You can't make a change unless you got some love change. Do it with some soul and a little love change. We started from the bottom, talking about the roots. Every time I'm in the booth, I gotta shoot the truth. My art is my art. It ain't no shame from it.
All right, welcome back to the Boondocks Podcast, y'all. I don't know if you heard what I just heard. What was that?
Yes.
Oh, Beezy wishing us the best. Shits, we're coming up. We're on the come up. Today we're going to be discussing Season 3, Episode 2, Bitches to Rags, in which Thugnificent has seen better days. Auto-tune, rap beef, nothing can stop the IRS when his new album tanks. Faced with the horror of getting a real job, Otis Jenkins takes some pretty desperate measures to stay afloat. But before we get into that, how y'all living?
I'm alive.
I do want to start really quickly by thanking Miss Lindsay. It was on my I had to pivot really quickly on my podcast the other day.
Pivot.
And she came on in. And she came on in and helped the episode that I threw together. And it was awesome. And I got my second challenge, game night challenge. So I challenged her to a what's better, friends or living single game night.
Nice.
Yes.
Ba-bum.
Yeah. So yeah, but thank you. That was awesome to see you on the screen there. So I appreciate this.
So
And don't forget to go vote for me for podcast of the year.
yeah. By the way, that was Demond doing his Obama for us. So
Oh, that's damn good. That's why he did.
I have to give a little story because every time I think about this, especially right now with school about to start again, one of the things that got the particular school that I worked in through some of the Trump years, we had a picture of Obama and we called it Uncle Barry, and he would show up randomly in different teachers' rooms. And the game was to move Uncle Barry to a different room without anyone catching you doing it. We basically did that for like a year and a half just calling him Uncle Barry, and everyone was really excited when Uncle Barry would show up, and the kids were always looking for Uncle Barry, and just,
Yeah.
That's how I will always think of him now. Obeezy, Uncle Barry, all those.
OBZ for real. I wonder how many people actually call him that. Like out and about. What up, OBZ? Or I don't know. I call Michelle Shelley. Like we are just homegirls. But I feel like that's what she probably goes by. Like, when she hangs out or goes to a reunion. Whatever they're allowed to do now.
Or just
But-
Shell.
Yeah.
I feel like
he
she's
probably
pretty
calls her
posh,
Shelley. Like, come on now,
I feel like-
Shelley.
Mish.
Like-
It could be Mish. Or Misha.
Yeah. We don't know. Black people don't,
Yeah, black people don't really Misha, but
Yeah.
Mish
You
could.
Look, her name could be Michelle, but they call her like Nene or Tootsie or something.
True.
So it doesn't-
Mimi.
and shout out to my cousin Nene. Wasn't trying to make, but that's her nickname. But yeah. So, how's the packing going?
Pretty good. I've still haven't made it into the actual storage yet, but I'm I've spent, when I'm not working on schoolwork, I've been going through clothes and sheets and shit and washing stuff and putting it in bags for Goodwill. And most of the stuff that's going with us that is not currently used every day is packed up now. So just kind of waiting out the clock for certain things to come into place where we can actually like get the show on the road, you know?
Yeah. You guys sound good movers. We don't really want to take that or move it. Throw it away. We'll replace it. But a lot of our stuff that we had was, college hodgepodge. A little bit after that, and so.
Oh yeah, most of the furniture that we have in this house, one of us brought into this house, or inherited from some family member that passed away, or traded with so and so, giving Natalie one table, or giving my dad a table and taking it different from him, and like all how it goes.
Yeah, my dad just tried to give us his couch, and I was like, sure, and hubby's like, we don't need it. Our couch is pretty new, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm just so used to be like, sure, we'll take it, we'll do something with it. But yeah, I'm one of those. So when I do become interested enough in like bringing back to light and doing all that,
refurbishing
that old HGTV stuff, then hey, great at it. But I'd rather pay somebody else to do it, or
there are a few pieces that I'm definitely wanting to take with us to refinish or to repaint. Like I have a coffee table that my uncle actually handmade, and it's perfectly fine. It needs to be reinforced a little, and it needs to be sanded down and resealed because it's 50 years old, or probably more than that now. And like there's a table that we used to use for podcasting. If we decide to take it, it definitely will need to be repainted. I hope he knows that, because it's cute and all, but no. Yeah, it's like yellow with flowers on it.
Oh, old school. Old school. Right?
Like nothing wrong structurally. It's it's family.
It was it was owned by my aunt, and my aunt is a China painter.
Yeah.
And so that's what it was all. If she gets motivated to paint something, she does. So that's how it ended up that way.
I mean, yeah, like I said, it's not bad. It's not my style in any way, but it's a good sized table, and it's pretty sturdy.
I think that's my thing. I don't really feel like I have a style until I started looking early, a couple months ago for when we buy land and whatnot. Then I was like, oh shit, I like farmhouse style. Okay. But I can't see myself going to RC Willie or some fucking crazy place like that for you to charge me $5,000 for 2 end tables, a lamp. Like, come on, what? Like, I don't know.
I aspire to not have to shop at IKEA. Like that's as I don't care about like I would like furniture that will last and is sturdy and heavy duty, but I don't really want to pay a lot of money for it.
Well, his thing is I don't want to put the shit together and it's cheap and it doesn't last long. And yeah, I learned that when we when we left college, because I was like, oh my god, all this money, we're going to IKEA. He's like, no, we're not. We are going to Jorge's Furniture Shack around the corner. When we did good bed, that lasted like 15 years.
Nice. Yeah, once we move, I would really like to, well, if it's possible, there's a whole lot of stuff that is contingent. Anyway, I would really like to be able to go to like antique stores and find nice, sturdy wooden furniture that was made, 100 years ago, because it's probably in better condition than most things that I'll buy anywhere else. And all it needs is, a coat of paint or something.
Mm-hmm. If that, like some of that,
exactly.
Like, in estate sales and things like that or whatever. So they'll be in good condition. What about you, Lindsay? I feel like your house probably looks like a pottery barn.
Oh, hell no. Listen, I mean, it does in the, whatchamacallit, the kitschiness of it. It's just like you guys are just saying, like college shit, because I am a person with a very strong point of view when it comes to design. I either like it to be green and chic, like lots of nature, lots of plants, lots of neutral colors, or I like minimalistic combined with Versailles. So I like very ornate stuff, but then a lot of empty space around it.
You sound like Kim Kardashian.
And my husband,
you just said I have like that. First of all, I got everything. I totally visualized it. I could have never. So I like earthy colors. That's about it. What I'll get. I like that.
I
throw.
like jewel tones.
Hello?
Like garnet red and sapphire blue and like the really rich colors.
Yeah, I'm more like, oh, that looks like red clay, or that reminds me of
that's like my mom.
Desert. But other than that, I can't tell you what to do. Do not take me to a store and be like, okay, let's get a rug, and I'd be like, what? We have a carpet.
I see, and I'm that guy that would be like, oh, you know where I saw a really cool rug online? It had tentacles all over it, and it was bringing down like, that would be me. Ooh, let's get this wallpaper that says "fuck you" over and over again.
You're like the couple that makes it.
Really.
They're out of Area 51. It's the whole thing.
Cool.
So,
But yeah, I married a thrifty motherfucker. Like, our investments are good and he's very good at that stuff. But my mom was Miss Thrift. You know what I mean? Like, everything on the cheap. And I married my fucking mom because I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, let's get these emerald colored glasses. $50. We can go to Big Lots. It's like $5.
Big Lots. You can look like you did some serious freaking shopping in Big Lots. Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
I learned that during the
right,
pandemic. Well, that wasn't a good thing because it's literally right around the corner.
But with all of us being West Coast girls, I don't know about y'all. Now I'm kind of on that train too because I feel like a fire could wipe us out at any minute. I'm not trying to get a bunch of expensive.
It kind of goes back to what I was saying before all this started. Like I am in like that existential crisis where I'm literally like, is there a point to like anything? So I'm like, I'm going to spend my money and buy art from my favorite artists. Like that's I don't care if it clashes. I'm going to give people money that can actually like use it. The idea of spending thousands of dollars on furniture just it blows my mind.
I mean, because what if something happens like it always does in movies? There's like a major event, and you have to leave your house. You're not taking that freaking Fabergé egg. You're not taking that.
Right.
Like
I mean,
gone.
to be fair, one of the reasons why Dean and I are selling this house and buying where we are is because we may be those paranoid leftists that want to be in an area with other paranoid leftists who can create a community if something were to happen.
Yeah.
And the places that we're looking, it's places where everybody's got a garden.
Hey, that's awesome. You guys want to go hungry? Have you guys seen
I will
Army
collect
of the
all
Dead
my friends who live in apartments and just go, you need to come and live here with me while the world crumbles around us. And
more and more groups of people are getting together and buying like land.
Yeah.
And then just being like, this is our, I don't want to call it commune, but they're basically being like, we're self-sufficient. We're doing this together. If
I thought I could pull that off, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I wanted to, and my husband said to me, so you want to start your own trailer park? I was like, yeah, yes, I do. A trailer park of tiny houses. I guess I do. Yep.
So I did not marry Honey Boo Boo. So no, we're not doing that. No, but like, I think it's a good idea. Like the tiny prefab house that Elon Musk is living in. I think things like that are a good idea.
Right. Like one of the things we're looking at, if it doesn't already have a created mother-in-law, it was looking at like getting a tiny house built in whatever yard space for her, like a little loft kind of thing, but like full-size tiny house. It's hard to explain.
Get her a she shed.
I'm kind of going off topic, but I want to put in a clip request that from now on, anytime one of us says Elon Musk, you play our TR saying,
you hear that, Dean? You have to make a clip of me saying I hate that guy to Elon Musk so that every time someone says Elon Musk, we can play. Dean had to step out of the room to feed the dog, so he missed that conversation. But I do hate that guy.
Did you hear that he says they're going to build the first human android?
Mm-hmm.
in the next couple
Because
years.
he wants to fuck it.
Yes, why are you doing that?
Why? In every movie that has ever made a cyborg of some kind, somewhere along the line, the designer wanted to fuck it. So, I'm sorry.
Except for Cherry
But
5000.
wasn't he out here a few weeks
Wasn't.
ago?
He didn't want to, right? Do you guys remember that movie?
No.
Oh, that was part of the reason why hubby got it first night, because I mentioned that movie. He knew it, and I was like, we are meant to be. And then I mentioned, oh my God, the clowns from outer space.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes, and then
Oh,
Teen
God.
Witch. Like, and I was just dropping lines to see if you knew. And I was like, oh man, like every time
Cherry-
we got something right, I was like, let's go.
Did you say Cherry 2000?
Sure, 2 or 5. It was one of those.
With Harry Carey and
yes,
yeah, okay.
it was one of those
I've never
movies
seen
that would
this.
come on kind of late night, but not really too late night on like HBO.
Made in 1987 and set in 2017. Okay, we got to watch this.
Oh my God,
We've got to watch this.
Now I want to go back and watch it again. Shut up. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's on Prime Video. All right, we are watching that this week,
Oh.
babe.
Oh my God, I can't wait till he gets
So,
back here. So I can
like
go
Harry
back.
Carey from the baseball announcer guy. If your legs tasted like hot dogs, would you eat them?
Oh,
That Will Ferrell used to do on Saturday Night Live.
Hey, Junior. Hold on. No, it's this guy.
Do you think the
This
moon's made of
is gay.
cheese?
See if I can find a.
that's
He's an
crazy.
old guy in it.
I love that movie.
I recognize him as an old guy. No.
He looks familiar, but I wonder if maybe he's Harry Carey's father.
Mm-mm.
How old is Harry Carey?
I think Harry Carey's dead now, but
So is this guy.
okay.
But like this, he was in Tombstone and Gremlins and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wyatt Earp and The Exorcist 3 and Back to the Future
Okay,
3.
so the difference is that one is spelled Carey. The sportscaster is Caray.
Ah, okay.
So there you go.
I
Sports.
didn't realize how many movies
Right.
he's in. Oh,
Oh my God.
Mask. That was
Oh,
I
loved it.
loved that when I was a kid, but like
Movie. Oh my God.
just
She's like literally nostalgia. Oh my God. Like I'm seriously forget. Love that
Gremlins.
movie. It was on at least once a month on a Sunday. Like I thought Cher was everything. So I remember
Right?
when Mermaids came out. I
Mermaids.
Was like, oh, I love it.
Seriously. And Winona
Love
Ryder, I was a
Mermaids.
little bit in love with. And Christina Ricci, I was the same age, well, a little bit older,
Yeah.
I think.
I think she's kind of pretty. I think she's pretty. I was watching something the other day where she says that she always got, typecasted as the odd, weird girl. And I was like, you're not always.
Big titty
Freaking
golf
Wednesday.
girlfriend.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
because she was Wednesday Addams, and that just she got stuck in that like
Oh, she
a
said
few
that
years ago. She played
was
Lizzie
told-
Borden, and
Mhm.
Well, they were. That's what helped her out. Like because before that, she was being told like, you're not a sexy, rom-com lead. You're not an Elizabeth Banks. Like blatantly, they were telling her stuff.
You're not blonde and skinny.
right? You're
Yeah,
not
that part.
exactly what we think that audiences want to
Yeah.
watch, despite
Yeah.
the fact that people have called you a sex symbol since you were 13 years old
Yeah.
and you requested a breast reduction surgery,
Yeah, but no, you are weird looking. Now, like I was
right?
just watching something talking about that, and she was saying that it just took a really big toll on her,
I bet.
and that led her into like an abusive marriage or
Mhm.
that marriage. But babe, guess what is on?
Also, I know that she had a lot of like eating disorders. She had anorexia for a while, or yeah, I think it was anorexia. I'm not sure if that was a recurring thing or, and a lot of that had to do kind of, and the reason why I kind of understood about the whole like breast reduction at 13, because I had a huge eating disorder when I was a kid because my tits were outsized to my body. Still
Yeah.
are, but at least now I kind of look proportional as a fat person. But
I
she was
taking a
always like a
class for
size
hubby.
2 with double D's, and that's
I was taking a child psychology class for hubby, and they were talking about the, how detrimental it is for boys and girls to develop too quickly. They're like, imagine that 8th grader that had the full freaking mustache, full
Mhm.
beard, muscles like he was a senior. Like for him, he still thinks like an 8th grader, but he's expected to act like how he looks.
Yeah.
And then for girls, you become immediately over-sexualized.
I looked like I was 16 years old from the time I was 10 years old until the time I was 30. That right?
That's why Soleil Moon Frye did it too. She's like, I was so just over-sexualized. Like, and people would talk to her. They were showing her on Ricki Lake, and Ricki Lake was like asking her questions about her breasts and her sexuality. And I'm just like, wait, well, what? And I'm like, God damn, in the 90s, we just really just
right.
And for it.
Ricki should have fucking known better. I mean, as a fucking actress herself who had to deal with all of the fucking fat phobia in the world where
but by that time, she was
maybe a
Ricki,
teenager.
Ricki. So she was feeling herself, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 10 other freaking, talk shows on at that time. So it was competition. So probably.
Right. That was the same time as Jenny Jones and Sally Jesse Raphael was still big. I remember, I think she started,
Springer.
I think I was in high school when she started her talk show.
Yeah, I definitely was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So good. We used to rush home, me and my friend rush home and watch Days of Our Lives. And then Ricki Lake. And then Jerry Springer. And Jenny came on later. Because, I remember when everybody was like, you saw Mary J. Blige on Jenny Jones saying that she was a man? And nobody. You never heard of that?
No.
Rumor story? Yeah. So
Well, Jenny Jones was, oh my God, that's terrible anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, but that was like a big, I don't know, maybe it was a Northern California thing or a California thing, but it was a big thing where people were like, oh yeah, I saw that episode. There was no such episode. Hella people were just lying, being like, yep, yeah. Mary said her name was Marcus.
It's like,
and I'm
the Mandela effect that they talk about.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Berenstain
says,
Bears versus the Berenstain Bears.
Or the
that is crazy. It's Berenstain.
The Sinbad
Right?
the Sinbad
Kazam or
Shazam.
Shazam.
Oh yeah. That's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. So yes, this totally has to do with
Oh, hey,
Shall we
before we go any farther, before we actually start in the thing, I wanted to let our listeners know that next week I will be enjoying myself on Venice Beach without a podcasting ability. So Damond will be here with you lovelies, talking about the next episode.
our honorary Woodcrest family member.
Right? I love that.
Yes,
Our
she's going to be in
honorary
Cali
Obama.
killing herself.
Our own Uncle Barry.
I want you to play Mac Dre, feeling myself at least once on your train trip.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
No. Don't forget who you're talking to.
I was like, girl, give me that black card. But you don't know me.
Oh, honey, I never actually got a black
I was going to
card.
say, were you ever given one?
No.
Your dad kept it in his wallet.
Yeah, my dad kept it from me, and I only discovered that I had it, recently.
Lindsay, do you know
She's
what
not sure how it works. It's kind of like when you go to
can't
school.
find the right bank.
You didn't learn how to do checking when you were in school. So
Or your taxes.
Yeah. Just, I said, do you know who Mac Dre
What'd you
is?
say, MJ, though? No.
So this is my last episode, everyone. Thank you so much. No. So we'll have to, So I'm going to need you guys on homework assignment. Just Google, YouTube, Mac Dre. Fire artists from here in the Bay, like influenced years of people that listen to just Bay Area rap. But there's a song he has called "Feeling Myself." Yeah, I want you to play that when you're on vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just one of those songs. Like if you're getting ready, and Lindsay, when you're getting ready to look all cute for the day, just put it on and be like, "Feeling myself." Yeah, yes, we're gonna need you guys. I'm gonna have to make you guys a playlist.
When you said it,
I'll make you a 2021 mixtape.
Make me
It
a
will not be
Spotify playlist. I absolutely love when people make me Spotify playlists. Anybody out there listening, if you want to make me one, I totally will listen to it at least once.
Yeah.
Make me a mixtape. I'm totally still in the 90s.
Oh, well, you and my son would love, this boy, Mom, can I pick a song on the way home from school today? And you put, he put something 90s back. He's like, Mom, who is this? I was like, boy, I know it's Ice Cube, but I just didn't listen to it. I was listening to New Kids on the Block. I wasn't listening to that at the time. Or, Vanilla Ice or Brian Austin Green, Cotton Eye Joe or something.
A couple of those I would recognize. I forgot that Brian Austin Green made me sick at that back in the day. Like you said it, and I'm like, oh yeah, he did a thing. Like everybody from the 90s tried to make an album at some point.
Well, he was on Soleil Moon Frye's documentary that I told you guys about a while ago. I was like, I cried and blah blah blah. But he was saying, I've always been in hip hop, always been into, like, my parents played punk and blah blah blah. So he's like, I was David Silver and David Silver was me, and I was like, yeah, you could tell in those scenes when you would be like dancing that you were serious about the Running Man. But hey, I loved it. I was one of 6,000 people who bought his tape. I also have Vanilla Ice.
I used to know Ice Ice Baby by heart from the beginning. Now I can only get through the first verse without losing my place. But like when I was a kid, it was one of the only rap songs that I actually knew. And even then I knew that it was like pushing it when it came to being called rap.
Yeah. Shit. I think Snow's Informer was probably more rap than
I kind of hated that song too. I hated that because everybody, yeah, exactly. Nobody could actually say the words. So everybody was just like, licky bum bum down. That's all anybody ever did.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because he wasn't really saying anything. But yeah, no, I loved, good old. Oh, I feel bad for these kiddos now that have, mush mouth. I'm gonna sound so old right now. That have these mush mouth rappers who can't make a song longer than 1 minute and 45 seconds. I feel sorry for you guys. You guys should really listen to some old school music.
I mean, that if we think about in terms of this episode, they were talking about Thugnificent basically being old school because his last album was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So like artists these days are just like, even though this was 15 years ago or whatever, artists are just like the Sergeant, what's his name? Sergeant Gutta in this. They're all like either teenagers or they have been doing it since they were teenagers and they have the same shtick the whole time. And
when I realized it was supposed to be Soulja Boy, and I was like, wait, it made me think about that kind of change, that shift that happened. So you went from Nelly and like Luda. I mean, Ludacris is still pretty relevant, but you went from them to
Busta and
a Soulja Boy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I thought about it when I was watching the episode. I was like, I wonder, not that they were putting Busta on blast, but what if that, that was probably around the time that Busta just kind of went off into the, into the shadows. I mean, I think his last big song was Pass the Cavassier with Diddy. And that was probably about the time that, Soulja Boy was skeeting. So, and look, I'm not even gonna try to act like I did not do that dance because that was.
Well, let's get into this, and then we can talk about what we remember about that era. All right, so Bitches to Rags, which is kind of a play on the last Thugnificent major episode, which was Rags to Bitches. So we start off with Granddad waking up to see a repo man attempting to possess Dorothy, his car. It turns out the repo man was looking for Thugnificent's house. I love that Granddad was like, this car's been paid off since 1975. And immediately the guy was like, oh yeah, you're probably right, because that car was kind of a piece of shit. Then we are at Thugnificent's house where he opens the door worried that it's, somebody after needing more money because his car was just repossessed. But it's Riley. And so he's like, oh, man, you cool. And he comes in and they're getting ready to play video games with each other. Thugnificent's house is a total mess, and like the yard is overgrown, and but Thugnificent says that everything is fine. In fact, he fakes a phone call with Warren Buffett saying that he would let him borrow $8 billion because that's realistic. So when Riley turns on the television, he sees the video for 15-year-old rap sensation Sergeant Gutta's Crank That Artichoke and begins doing the dance associated with the song. Thugnificent is frustrated and tells Riley about his new album and decides to play him some of those tunes, which are all auto-tuned, which, you know, Riley is very dismayed about, but nobody ever tells Thugnificent the truth. So turns out every song is auto-tuned, and Thugnificent thinks it's just the hottest sound. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but something I noticed during that scene was when Riley was trying not to tell him the music was terrible, he took his dreads and stuffed them in his ears. So he didn't actually have to keep listening to the songs.
No.
I love this. Like, and it was barely noticeable. I think it was like the third or fourth time through that I was like, wait, what is he doing with his hair? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't know. Well, you know, it's Riley. So I was like, we ain't gonna be doing anything.
Right.
But when he came and sat down, did he light up a joint?
A cigarette. I think it was a Newport even. It was a green and white pack. So
was it? Oh, okay. Okay.
So earlier when I watched this, I know I mentioned it in our chat together, and anybody who was listening to the pre-show probably heard it. I had kind of a bad anxiety day, PTSD trigger in school, you know, like stress basically. And so to kind of get over it, I just watched the show like over and over again in the middle of the day. So I got a lot of details this time.
I studied it. I got it.
A little bit. I mean, not as closely as like I liked this episode. Not as closely as I watched episodes that I really, really like. But I have a question because I don't listen to rap and current rap and R&B that much, but I know that musicians use autotune all the time still. How prevalent is that still in rap?
Well, no, okay, so not blatantly. So, okay, technology has, of course, gotten better.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So they don't, okay. So they don't use it to try to be T-Pain, because T-Pain blew the fuck up. And don't get me started, because T-Pain could sing. I saw T-Pain live when he first came out, and I was like, this dude can sing. So it always infuriated me. People were like, oh, no. Especially because you had Roger Troutman and Zapp, and like, shit had been used before. But, so what they do more of now is they use that to be like, I want to sound like I was in a cave. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be like an echoing effect. Or the person I could say that does it the best, and it's not really noticeable, but then when you really listen, you're like, dude, this dude's a genius, is probably Kanye West.
Okay.
Where he is just, but then again, he yokes his producers and he pays them a lot. But so it's just another form of the software. And I'm sure there are some people out there that cannot hold a tune still, and they use it more for that. But not so much of that auto-tune, you know, just blatant auto-tune effect that was so heavy, you know, in 2000.
I feel like
the 99 and 2000.
Right. Like the late 90s, early 2000s for sure. But I feel like, you know, in the last 10 years, it's become more prevalent again. But maybe
so what it is they do more sing-songy shit. And like I said, then they're doing like some manipulation, but it's not really.
And people don't get shit for it anymore, too. Like, nobody's going to give them shit for using autotune on something. Whereas, you know, unless you were like Cher and you were like, look, I'm just going to do the whole thing in autotune and you're going to be fine with it because I'm Cher.
I did not know until like 3 weeks ago that Do You Believe After Love was. I did not know that.
Really? I did not. Because I didn't listen to rap, that was my introduction to autotune. And it was in a karaoke bar the first time I heard it, and I was like, what did they do to her voice?
I thought it was just Cher being like, because, you know, Cher always kind of sang with her mouth like, oh, you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I just thought like, oh, she took some different singing lessons, and, you know, now she's using, you know, EDM beats, and I really just, I didn't think about it until I watched the Netflix special about it.
My friends and I used to get drunk and sing that.
You know who Travis Scott is?
The name sounds familiar.
So yeah, you Yeah, so you probably heard of him. Like if you did listen or like had a, a crossover radio station that played like a combination of like Meghan Trainor and then freaking Travis Scott, you would hear him. I would say that you probably would have heard it in him more often, but it's always in a song that he's like, I don't want to say like a love song, but it's like that vibe. So he's either talking about like him and a girl turning up, he went and picked up a girl in a car, they went out, or it's let's get lit. Like it's used in that aspect. So they say it's to add like texture to a song and to add depth and to give you like this whole feeling. It probably is because, they didn't sound good, or the producer was like, here's the final cut. And they were like, perfect. So it's interesting that you say that though, because I do think that it's used more in like EDM and I don't want to say reggaeton, but that kind of like huge burst of Latinx kind of Latin performers. They use it in that because all their music is so party, centric. Like everything's like being at a fiesta. Or fiesta. Or yes, fiesta, that's the right word. It's like
it wouldn't be a party if it was a siesta.
Yeah.
Definitely your kind of party.
Yes. Turn up. But no, so that's when it's definitely used more. Now with the like newer rappers, like the ones that my son can't stand, he's like, was the NBA YoungBoy really in the NBA? And I was like, oh son, don't. But
I need to ask Evan who he listens to now.
Yeah, they just mumble. Like they literally, everyone sounds alike. Oh my God, that sounds so old, but that's really what they sound like.
That, like Evan was definitely younger when mumble rap was, and we would give him a hard time a little bit about it, but he never really liked it. There was
and there's so many of them. Like who the hell is a little Zan? Who in the hand is a little TJ? Like
that's later when Thugnificent is dropping the names, and I totally have a thing about that. So we should talk about names then, because that's exactly how I feel about them all.
So ridiculous.
Anyway, let's get back to so we are hanging out by the pool, and Riley asks Thugnificent about Phenomenal.
I thought Phenomenal was supposed to be back this week.
Man, that nigga, man. You know he went and got a job.
A what?
I know, nigga. That's what I said. A job? Can you believe this nigga? Nigga talking about he need health insurance and shit. I'm like, damn, nigga. Pull down your skirt. You know what I'm saying? Take the dick out your ass. Niggas acting like little bitches, man. And this nigga Mac-tastic, this nigga went back to pimping and shit. Yo, it's funny how niggas change on you, man. You know what I'm saying?
So you here all by yourself?
Yeah, just me.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Just got back from work. Y'all hungry?
Oh, and Leonard.
So we know what has now happened to the entire Lethal Interjection crew. They are not making any money, so they're out working, and because the rap thing is just not happening right now. So
I just love that they brought that story back to like full circle, like because when he was like, "I'll go get a job, it'd be cool," that shit was hilarious. Right. And so he's back now working in Wendy's.
Well, not only that, like there is a recurring theme about that character in this episode that like I want to talk about a little bit later, but like it seems like definitely everybody in the crew except for Thugnificent has faced reality to some point. Going back to pimping, getting an office job, or working at Wendy's, and Thugnificent is still so looking at this like it's all about him.
Yeah. So everything that's the problem with having like your boys,
right?
And stuff like that. I think somebody that does it really well is Kevin Hart. He allowed for their careers to grow. He has bought them all dope cars, and like it's just very, like it's we're a team, not so much of I'm the star, y'all are my peons that hang out. But what's so funny is that Leonard is like ride or die. Like he's really trying to just stay with this delusional and grown ass Otis, and trying to make it, trying to make the situation better. So because you'll see that, but when the money starts running out, they usually run out too.
Right. And in this case, you know, that's the way that Thugnificent is looking at it. Like, he's seeing it as they've all abandoned him, whereas they're all like, dude, we gotta eat.
Yeah.
Like, talking about health insurance as if that's some kind of bad thing.
Right. So I was thinking while I was watching it, like, I think that really a lot of it would be, of course, because he had everybody like kissing his ass for how many years. But the fact that they were able to go and make the transition back to normal life, and I'm doing air quotes, like, see, I think that just made him even more aware that he didn't have that ability, or that he didn't have those options. So then he's salty about it, you know?
Well, I think that that comes later for sure. Like, in the beginning, I don't think that it, well, and he even says kind of in a little bit, and we'll get to it, where he says, like, I didn't think that my rap career would happen, let alone be like, I thought it would last longer. So, like, he has no idea of how to move on from this.
What's that? If it were one of my boys, I'd be like, boy, look, you know, you got about 17 seconds left on this 15 minutes. Like, I hope you put your money aside. Like, I wouldn't. It's just sad that there's nobody in those situations, because we know this is a real life situation, you know, more often than not, that somebody goes, hey, look, what's your alternative? You know, like, what are we going to do from here on out? So yeah, I felt all kind of feels during this episode.
Yeah. So in the next scene, Thugnificent is a guest on the DJ Vlad radio show, where Vlad constantly reminds the audience that Thugnificent is old, and even, you know, his album came out 4 years ago and it feels like 40. And he asks him about his next CD.
No doubt. The CD is crazy. It's on fire. It's got something for everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's got joints for the streets. It's got joints for the ladies. It's got joints for the ladies in the streets.
Now, Lindsay, that was one of your clips. Did you have something you wanted to talk about with that?
Yes, I feel like, and it does touch into a bit of what you guys were just talking about in terms of like crews and career and fame. I feel like a big theme running through this episode is about what it is to have that kind of big dream, want to make it as an artist or a YouTuber or a celebrity, any kind of fame you chase. For me, as a fake artist, writer, whatever, there's this thing going on about like selling out, who you align with. Like, we're really getting into all of this shit throughout this episode. So, you know, and that kind of quote, I feel like he's starting to kind of touch on it. Instead of doing his art for himself, he is selling out. He is like, there's something there for everyone. There's something for the ladies in the streets. There's something for, you know, this and that person, instead of just doing.
And that's the shit that he was talking about at the beginning. That's Riley. Like, everybody's selling out. They're this, they're that. I don't want to do this. And then turns around, like you're saying, and is doing exactly that, you know?
Right.
Like, last desperate shot.
And even later, he says that he basically was talked into using the auto-tune all that much or whatever. Like, he's like, I didn't even want to do that, basically. So he is faced with the fact that he is essentially, you know, his time is over. And he's just desperate to get somebody to like what he's putting out. After Thugnificent reminds everyone that he is still a fan of the Notorious B.I.G., which is, of course, a fact that everyone is like, oh, even older school, Vlad then asks him,
Who are you feeling out there in the game right now? What are you banging in your trunk right now?
Okay. You know, I'm definitely feeling a lot of cats in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling my main man, Young Cow Tipper, Jock Daddy Pimp, Little Hobnobber, Goo Goo the Bone Mouth, Little Rich, S-Bot and Rose. I'm feeling Willie Whistleworth C, my main man Trick Money Smitty, Little Fanta putting in his work. Look out for his mixtape. Pew Boy Pimp, Nasty Murder Trey, Epis Green, Little Big Dollar, Snow Bunny Sampson. I'm feeling a lot of cats right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people doing their thing.
Once again, Aaron Magruder is a sorcerer.
Right? I love that. Back then, probably everybody would have just giggled about that. Like, oh, that's a funny joke. But now that literally sounded like it could have been a real list of rappers.
Look, I'm going to tell you guys in like 3 months. Have you heard that new little whistleblower or whatever you said? Like, some kid is going to run across that and be like, fire. Start calling me like, oh my God. And you know, it's no creativity. Like, it's no creativity. Eminem came up with Eminem because his name is Marshall Mathers.
Right?
Hey, he didn't come up and saying that he was the red Eminem in the...
No, it's, like, exactly. Oh, I'm the green Eminem.
Yeah, you know, in the bag. And like, I don't understand. I don't know if it's the Xan bars. I don't know what it is. But good Lord, if I hear one more little or letters being put together that in normal English, they don't make a sound nor a word, but yet they went ahead and called themselves that. Like, I see why my son's like Ice Cube. Simple. Know what I am.
Right? Like that.
Jodeci.
That is definitely true. Like our childhood generation, musicians and rappers, and even the ones that had silly names that we kind of were like, hee, Ice Cube. That's such a silly name. But also, you know, he was a tough motherfucker before he started doing family movies, so nobody really laughed at him for that. Yeah. But like, that was an era where names like that were the outlier. Where now, if you go by a real name, they're like, ooh, okay.
I mean, you also didn't name your children sounds or like,
right?
You know, so it's like, yeah. So, and you know, that's probably what it is. These damn kids are growing up, and they're like, "Mom, you called me sub." No, so you know, I can imagine Apple's gonna go off on Gwyneth.
Isn't she an adult now? Like, I feel like that was 20 years ago at this point.
Probably close to it.
Oh, dude, what's his name?
The other day, Shrek was 20 years old and almost died.
Pilot Inspector. Wasn't that him? Like, Penn Jillette, comedian and from Penn and Teller.
Oh, yeah.
Named his kid Pilot Inspector.
Good.
God, who else was? Like,
and hubby was getting mad at me when I said I wanted to name middle name for a daughter Kizzy. He was upset at me because we were just watching Roots, and I was like, "That's so powerful." He's like, "We are not." He was so mad at me. He's like, "We are not having daughters." And I was like, "You don't know." He goes, "We are not. If you want to name them after a slave."
Okay.
I thought Kizzy was cute. I was like, "We can call her Kizzy." He was like, "We are getting a divorce, right?"
I was like calling your kid Kuta Kinte.
Exactly. I wouldn't even name my kid Toby just because.
That's what Dean just said off mic. You had a dog named Toby, right? No, that was my mom. My mom had a dog named Toby.
My mother named our raccoon Kissy.
Of course your mother did.
Your raccoon?
Of course your mother did.
We moved into a house out in the middle of nowhere that had been nobody had been living there for a couple of years, and we went up into the attic as we're moving in to put stuff away, and we found this nest of raccoons. All the babies except for one had died because we moved in. It was like, I want to say it was, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, we found this raccoon. It was tiny. It was like the size of a mouse when we found it. We raised it. We fed it with like doll bottles. But my mom named it Kissy.
Oh my God.
So.
Oh, that you are honestly the first person I've ever heard of that.
Yep. I've had two.
I've actually known a couple of people now that have had pet raccoons.
Raccoons are mean, and whenever we see them, they're fat and staring at you with their.
We got three living out behind our house that have been out here since their mom got hit by a car like 2 years ago. Oh. Just these three little, like, they were tiny when I first saw them, and now they just like to walk by where my dog can see them but not get to them. Or at night, if I'm sitting out on the deck, I'll hear like the chittering of them because they know that I'm there, and they're not going to come by me, but they're like, "Hey, I'm over here.
They're like, "Leave that trash can."
So my rap name will be Little Raccoon.
I like it.
I'm into it.
Moving on.
All right. So, absent from the list that Thugnificent had just named off was Sergeant Gutter, who Thugnificent despises. So he starts a rap beef. Riley knew it was a bad idea and tried to get him to stop, but it was too late, and he bashed Sergeant Gutter to hell and back, and it is a colossal failure in record sales. In a YouTube video, Thugnificent angrily asks his fans and followers why they won't buy his music so that he can make money, and that moral support via social media is not what he needs. He complains that he only gets stupid questions and comments.
Hey, Thugnificent, is it booty butt cheeks or is it move them butt cheeks? Nigga, who gives a fuck? It's a song about butt cheeks.
Okay, so when we've heard this song before, I swear to God, it's always sounded like booty butt cheeks to me until this episode, where now it sounds like move them butt cheeks, and I don't know what to think of. It's like the Laurel what was it? Laurel
Yanni.
last geez, I wanted to say last year. That was like 5 years ago.
I mean, it could have been move them butt cheeks, booty, butt cheeks. It could have been like that.
Yeah, it's probably
not like it's a real song and all. We're sitting here like he's so angry. He's so in his feelings though. Like he's so in his feelings. And that, I mean, social media wasn't huge at this time, especially for celebrities. But once again, showing you how
this would have been MySpace days, right?
Sorry about that, but I don't think it's not like it is now on Instagram and Twitter, and people get in and just talk crazy shit. Like people were fans.
He said on the episode actually, I'm about to delete everybody from my top 30s list. That's on Facebook and MySpace.
Okay.
Man, that's when Facebook was cool. But it was fun. When you put up your top 5 favorite songs and people be like, yeah, I like that one too. That shit was fun. No, Facebook holds at the beginning.
So our next scene, Thugnificent is on the phone with his record label, which basically drops him, and you hear him saying "damn, damn, damn" in the background. And right at that point is when Leonard comes home.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, man, I got a surprise for you. I seen that video you put on your MySpace. You know the one, how they don't be buying your CD and stuff, right? Well, here, I got them the day after work. I spent my whole check, but I want you to know I support you, man. See that? Look at it.
Okay. This guy is trying so hard. Yeah. He thinks he hears his friend saying you ain't buying my album, so he goes out and spends his entire paycheck on buying those CDs, and his friend treats him like shit for it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's good for you to have those people around that know you the best, because then they can kind of deal with all that. But a lot of these celebrities, they become really good friends with these people in the process of becoming famous. So they're not your old, 4th grade friend who really knows you and knew that you peed on yourself every time you went to sleep.
I feel like that is Leonard. Like, he's the one that's been around for a long ass time and just really is not very smart. But he's like good-hearted. And he wants loyal. He's very loyal.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's a hustler. He said he was going to go back and work at fast food.
Wait. We're going to listen to that next. So Thugnificent is pissed off because he says he's throwing his money away.
No, Thugnificent is that I only make like $7.50 an hour, and the mortgage on this place is like $12,000 a month. So I did the math, and that means I had to work like 82 hours a day. So I went in, asked the manager for some overtime, and he said he couldn't do it because it's a good company policy. You just started here. Who you think you are? Be lucky with the hours that you get. Cindy's pregnant and she has to work. And I was like, well, Cindy, so I tried to figure that maybe I could work 2 jobs at the same time. So I was like, maybe I could be on the phone doing some telemarketing and work on like some art and sell art out of the back of windows.
Oh. And again, like, he's just like, I will do anything. Let me help. Let me, I will work more hours than there are in a day. I will
and make up a job, because what is telemarketing?
And take 2 other jobs, and I will do art and sell it out of the back of the van at the same time. And
out of Wendy's, he's gonna be like doing double duty, working Wendy's, selling art,
right,
and doing telemarketing.
So Thugnificent is distraught, but not for the reasons that you would expect.
Oh, man, why me? I did everything I was supposed to do. I used that stupid fucking auto-tune on my voice. I instigated rap beef, and I even tried to make a dance, nigga. Nothing seems to work.
So not only is he completely dismissing Leonard, basically saying, I will do anything for you, but he's saying, I sold out and I still got nothing. But Lindsay, what did you have to say about that one? Yeah?
I mean, you just said it. That's why I picked it. Yeah.
So do you guys know who voiced Leonard? Yeah. I just looked it up because it was driving me crazy.
D. Ray Davis?
Yep. Look at you.
No. Who is that?
You want your card? I'm going to laminate your card and send it to you.
The comedian that has 2 girlfriends.
Yeah, that's very out and open about. He's like, look,
poly came out like 2 years ago saying he was poly.
They like comedians make fun of him because he's very light skinned, like he's like bright with pretty eyes.
Have you seen Friday?
I mean, not Friday.
Have you seen Barbershop? Yeah, I was, if you seen Barbershop, he's the one that came in trying to sell stuff at the barbershop.
Okay.
He has funny stand up. He was in Think Not. Yeah. It was driving me crazy this whole time. I was like, no, not Most Def. So, but yeah, that totally sounds like.
Well, we had a question about that later,
Yeah,
right?
I think. Well, yeah, when you get to the crackheads.
Yeah, because we were wondering if he'd like secretly recorded one of those voices, but
yeah, look, who would have told? Somebody could have convinced me. Hey, Most Def's gonna be like a legit actor later in life. I'm like, fuck out of here. To sing a vibrant thing.
So later, Sergeant Gutta responds to Thugnificent's in a internet video with a response of his own on MySpace. First, he says he admires and respects Thugnificent and loved his music growing up. You know, the 4 years ago when he was 11, when Thugnificent's album came out. Then he breaks him down by making fun of him because he told him to eat a dick. Like, who tells a 15-year-old to eat a dick? Come on now. Well, yeah, you would, Dean. So he supposedly calls Thugnificent's mother, who laments that Thugnificent's use of foul language and beefing with teenage boys. She says that she didn't raise him that way and she doesn't like it, and she tells him that all the time. And the video ends with Gutta hoping that the IRS would show up to his house, and they do. And then we know Mactastic has gone back to pimping, and Flownominal has gotten himself a regular office job. He visits Thugnificent and tells him to do the same at the same place he's working. Thugnificent comes in for an interview where he tells the hiring manager that he's only wants to get a job temporarily because his rap career is on hold and will blow up again, and he'll be taking Flownominal with him. Once this hiring manager realizes that he means, Derek, the new guy, and verifies the rap careers, he not only refuses to hire Thugnificent, but has Flownominal fired at the same time. And I wonder about this. Like, it says in this that mostly for not mentioning his rap career in his resume, but I think it was because of the fuck granddad and stomp him in the nuts. They were just a little too controversial for maybe this office position. That was my thought.
The guy did say, well, he failed to mention that on his resume.
He said that a few times. He said that a few times about not knowing these things.
Looking up the video, like, come on,
right.
He was like, I thought he wasn't one of those black people.
Right.
Good ones.
Exactly. Like, he looked up Derek and it was not impressed anymore.
Well, I mean, and Thugnificent didn't come in like on the best. Like, my thing would have been like, you really thought referring him was a good job? You don't need to work here either.
Right.
So,
but he had a communications degree, which kind of
he's got a bachelor's, which wow, okay.
Did they say that in another episode and we missed it? Because I don't remember that at all.
Well, they said that earlier in this episode for sure.
Yeah, they said it in the interview when he was interviewing. So,
okay. I missed that one too, or at least it didn't stick in my memory. So now Thugnificent is down to his last resort to save his house because the IRS has basically said he owes like over $100,000 or they're going to take it all away. So he decides to start selling crack because that's the obvious next thing to do. Unfortunately, none of them know how to actually make crack. So they decide to watch a rap video because that'll teach them. But then when that doesn't work, they go on Wikipedia. Thugnificent's first, he gets the cocaine from Ed the Third, which I just found perfect. And, he's, who's your, I got connections, Ed the Third. So Thugnificent's first night out selling crack is a disaster. He had one sale where the guy ended up coming back, the dude with the English accent, ended up coming back because it was singed around the edges. And his other one is just wanting to buy some, but keeps getting interrupted by the fan who also has to go and get his cousin because, hey, it's Thugnificent selling crack. And Thugnificent is humiliated and tries to basically say it's not him, and then gets even more upset when both the fan and the crackhead basically tell him that auto-tune is shit and he shouldn't have done that. So Thugnificent runs away. So
you're getting roasted by a serious crackhead,
right?
With an accent,
right? So I have a couple of comments on this scene. One, the two crackheads have the exact same face. The lips, the eyes, the hoods on their eyes, the nose, it's all exactly the same. Different voices voicing them. One doing the English accent, the other one is the one that we thought sounded like Mos Def, right? Yeah. So I was curious why they were basically the exact same character. Like, yeah, he always has a point for shit, so I was curious about that.
I mean, I don't know any crackheads. I
don't either.
I saw when I was younger and stuff, but I think part of it is because they get the same look. They look kind of like that zombie look, and so that's how I took it. It's like, one crackhead, like kind of thing. So
also,
that's what Judge Mathis says too.
The characters also kind of look like what's his name? Comedian
Tyrone Biggums.
Is that the
Chappelle Show?
Chappelle Show, yeah. That's what I was trying. The crackhead from Chappelle Show. Like one of them.
The one with
basically, I didn't get all the way through the hot stuff that he said there. So Thugnificent makes one last desperate call to Steve, who was an old friend of his, who was a Hollow Point Records exec that once tried to sign him on a deal. So they're calling to try and sell him that cocaine. When he gets there with Ed the Third and Leonard, they try to make the deal.
What is this, cocaine?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to discuss a record deal, not a drug deal.
Huh?
You said you had something I might be interested in, and I thought you were talking about music.
Oh, man.
I want back into the Thugnificent business. How about $150,000 advance?
Well, all right.
Oh.
What you want to say about that, Linz?
Oh, it's just going right back to the thing about selling out. Like, if you are an artist or a creative or whatever, that's why you don't chase what the general public is doing, auto-tune and all this bullshit, because like people who see your art are gonna fucking see it. And here he is trying to be a drug dealer now, and here is somebody who can give him the opportunity to do the shit he loves to do, saying, oh, I don't want drugs. I want you for what you do well. The Thugnificent experience.
Yeah, that would have been like Two Life Crew coming out all of a sudden and being like, we're just kingpins. We do this, we do that. I mean, when all they talked about was, pop that pussy and everything. Like that, it would have been like, that would have been disgenuine. Plus, I know that they were college educated, so that wouldn't have. But I was just telling hubby, the record exec reminded me a little bit of Ron Jeremy crossed with Jerry Heller. Do you guys know who he is?
No, Ron Jeremy. I don't know the other name.
Eazy-E, the one who who supposedly did on like the bad deals for NWA.
Okay.
And then Eazy-E ended up like going with him, like working with his record company and stuff. And I think he ended up being Eazy-E's manager. But he reminded me like I'm not saying really Ron Jeremy. I think his physical appearance is what reminded me of Ron Jeremy. But overall, I think he was supposed to be kind of like an independent, kind of like on the under, kind of shady record label.
Can I pull out an Easter egg here?
Please.
So Dean found this information, not me, and I didn't remember from. So that scene, the scene that I'm actually about to describe, is an homage to a scene in Boogie Nights, including the kid throwing firecrackers in the background, which was confusing me at first because I did not remember that scene. But when Dean started explaining, it all clicked for me. I remembered. But that's that same sort of.
Movies.
What was
so
that?
I know exactly what you're talking about. One of my favorite movies, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Nice.
Yeah.
So here's that scene. Let me read this. Ed becomes annoyed when he's not there, when he finds that he's not there for the drug deal and that he's not going to be getting any money. So he pulls out his gun and basically threatens to shoot, which Steve pulls out a shotgun and starts shooting. Ed, of course, is wearing his bulletproof vest, so he's not wounded. And Thugnificent runs from Steve's house, passes out in the street in front of the Freeman's home. Now, Ed was shot twice, and 15 shots total were shot from this shotgun, which obviously does not happen in real life. And I was like, how does this work? But But that scene, like I said, that's almost shot for shot, basically, from the scene in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
So.
When he had hitting rock bottom.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Love that movie. Love it. Even though Mark Wahlberg acts exactly the same. There and every other movie he's ever done.
Mark Wahlberg is a piece of shit. I like him
almost
as much as I like Elon Musk.
Well, what's so funny is like you loved Black. You were, good vibrations. You had all the homies that you were getting in trouble with, but now you act so.
No, wait. Let's go back even before that. Before he came out with Good Vibrations, he would get in trouble because he would beat up black kids.
Oh, that's right.
He was a fucking little racist piece of shit.
I keep forgetting Boston is, that's right. Boston is one of the most racist.
Southie, yeah. So, yeah, and then he absolutely tried to whitewash all of that, like, maybe 15 years ago or so when he started making it big in movies. So nobody ever talks about that anymore, but he was fucking arrested for beating up black kids. Like, come
Eminem
on.
did.
And then he co-opted the whole style.
I'll never forget that TRL when Eminem was so just pressing his buttons and fucking with them. He's like, oh yeah, are we going to be one happy funky bunch? It was one of the best Eminem, like so good. And he mentioned that. He was like, what if me and my boys came out there? Like, would you include all of us in? Like, and he was dropping little subs like that. But yeah, I don't know. I get up at 2:30 in the morning and I work out and then I work hard. Shut up. Mm-hmm. This bothers me. And then now he's coming out saying that, oh, well, I'm changing my verb. You say some very mean shit on the regular. And because your kids are, being raised differently or, it's a different time, they're calling you to the carpet on it. But I just don't like how he used something that he was supposed to be learning from or becoming a better person. Then he has to put an Instagram post out about it.
I think you're actually mixing that up. That was Matt Damon.
Oh, and it was, so he came out, it was like 6 months ago when Mark Wahlberg's kids came out and he was on Jimmy Kimmel or something. Yeah, and then, yes, more recently.
I didn't even know Mark Wahlberg had kids, to be honest. So Thugnificent is passed out on the sidewalk. Granddad finds him, incidentally, who goes running and doesn't look at the ground as they're running. But Granddad finds him by tripping over him on the sidewalk. And
hang on a second. Have you met you?
I watch the ground very well while I'm walking and while I'm running. That's why I run into door jams. I don't trip over my feet. That's your daughter.
I'm sorry. You're constantly falling on stuff.
That was funny.
I do run into shit. I don't trip over stuff. I run into shit.
I look like Drake on our less disputed episode, talking about how Will Smith was able to date his partner's daughter. What the hell?
Hey.
I'm sorry. Continue.
So.
I couldn't be laughing so hard. I totally just walked through my tire today on my car. I have
very poor spatial. I can't think of the word right now, but spatial awareness. I have very poor spatial awareness, so I run into door jams. I misjudge corners of tables, all of that shit. But I don't trip over stuff on the floor usually.
You run into the revolving doors like my son did in Vegas. It was fucking hilarious.
I avoid those.
Yeah, it's not there like, oh no.
I have to like time it like I'm getting into a double dutch. Like I'm gonna jump into double dutch. I'm like 1, 2, 3, go.
Our son didn't get that you have to keep moving.
Oh no!
So he was. Oh my gosh! And
kept moving. It stopped.
Oh, that's right. He walked into it. That's right. And there was like 10 people getting in behind us, and I laughed with them. I was like, no. That was funny.
Okay,
yeah.
So I know we're getting a little late here, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. So Granddad finds him, brings him inside, pleads with him to get a job. Thugnificent complains to Robert and the boys that he always wanted to be a rapper and that even he himself was amazed that he pulled it off, but he'd hoped that it would last longer. Realizing he's not going to be able to compete with today's artists and feeling out of touch with the younger fans, Thugnificent ultimately understands that his career is over. The IRS later visits Thugnificent at his home and begins foreclosure proceedings. Uncle Ruckus makes a 5-second appearance, jumping for joy, popping champagne, happy as hell that Thugnificent is leaving. The next scene...
Make one banger and he'll be right back.
Right? Right? The next scene shows Riley excitedly waking up to hear Thugnificent's booty butt cheeks blasting from a stereo outside. We see Thugnificent ghostwriting his delivery truck, which is, a big brown delivery truck. He's working as a delivery man. His trademark hair is now cut, and he's delivering a package to the Freeman home. Leonard is working with him and acting as a cameraman, and Riley goes outside to greet them.
How you like the new job?
Oh, man, it's some old bullshit. But check it. Your boy is shooting his own reality show.
What?
Yeah, nigga, you on it right now.
Yo, what up? Young Breezy, a.k.a. the fundraiser, nigga. Lethal interjection, bitch.
Yeah, man. All the paper is in reality shows right now, nigga. The music industry's dead. I'm trying to get that Flavor Flav money. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking at right now.
Wow, that sounds like a real good plan, Thugnificent.
I mean, everybody did it. Like everybody's rebooting shows now. They're like, hey, you want to be relevant again?
Right, getting that, what was it? Getting that, oh my God, getting that Flavor Flav money. That's what it was.
Flavor Flav. I watched that shit. That was good. Ray J had one, Brett Michaels.
Yeah, there were a lot of those.
Yeah. Yeah, and the people that were on there ended up getting them. Yeah. Wow. Whoever that production crew was, you guys were like, look, I got a 5-year plan. Let's just go ahead and put out as much as possible.
Would you guys watch a Thugnificent reality series? I know you two watch reality shows and I don't, so.
When I was younger, I would. Probably not. Now she was watching reality show Iman Shumpert and
Tiana Taylor.
And I thought it was the dumbest thing ever.
Like, they're a really cute couple, but I was like, why would you guys let E put you on blast like this? Like,
Like, it's a time frame thing. Reality shows now just wouldn't be good look.
Yeah.
I feel like Thugnificence would be a little like Jackass. Like the black Jackass.
That's why I wouldn't watch. Why I wouldn't watch it.
It was
I don't
like
watch
Shorty
it.
Low. So I was trying to think of like what rapper that would we not watch. So he actually unfortunately passed away in a car accident a few years back. But he was getting ready to come out with a reality show that was going to be him, his 15 kids or something, and then the 9 babies' moms that were all kind of co-parented, if you can say that. And some people were very upset about it. Like, don't put that shit on. Like, you don't do that, showing you have all these kids and whatnot. But like, his point was, no, I'm cool with all of my children, all of my, I hate when people say babies' mothers, but my babies' mamas and my kids. Like, they know their brothers and sisters and whatnot. And I think it wasn't going to be a BET deal, even though we know the same company owns MTV and VH1 and all that. I want to say it was going to be on like We or no, the one that Bad Girls Club was on. Oxygen, yeah. So it was, it had a little bit more money. It wasn't the traditional ones. And then people made such a big deal about it that they ended up like paying him out and then not doing the show. And then unfortunately he passed shortly thereafter. But that would be the equivalent of like a real life Thugnificent, and hubby would have been like, hell no. He didn't even like watching the Whitney and Bobby show.
Well, that was just a train wreck.
I mean,
depressing as hell.
I think I got through maybe 20 minutes of the first one, and when she was like, Bobby, Hilton, and I was like, oh, no.
I don't like watching Key and Peele movies. I don't like watching Wayne's Marlon and Sean movies, all for the same reason. So to me, it comes across as coonery, and it's just not the time.
Mm-hmm. I totally get that.
Yeah,
hey, Linz, how about you?
Yeah.
Oh, it would depend on the premise. Totally. I'd have to see. Is it him trying to get back in the game? Is it him trying to find different ways to make cash? I don't know. Is it
a Flavor Flav? Is it a Ray J? Like, where, or is it them trying to make another Kardashians? which they put a lot of fucking work into that shit.
Simple
They
Life.
didn't just go, "Oh, you guys get to be on TV for 15 years." Ryan Seacrest knew exactly what he was doing, and so that's what I was saying, telling my son about Tiana and Iman. I said, "This is only good if you're in agreement about what your platform's going to be." And this does not seem like longevity. Let's think about E! Channel. Who mainly watches E! Channel? Do you think they know who Tiana Taylor is because of the video that she did for Kanye? But they don't know who the hell Iman Shumpert is. And just how New York and just like, yeah, and she, but okay, I don't want she ate an entire chicken bone. She put the chicken in her mouth, one bite, and the shit came out clean. And then she proceeded to have a full conversation with her mouth full, and a little bit of incorrect grammar in there. And I'm just like, oh, come on, like don't put this on the channel where they blew up, the rich kids of Beverly Hills. They blew up the Kardashians, but you haven't seen them do any other family. You haven't seen them bring any people of color, real color, to excellence like that, or to a lot of success.
And they didn't show that shit is
Braxton family. Was
But they
pretty
weren't.
big.
They were on another channel, so they weren't on E. They were on
Oh, right. They're on their own.
Oprah was like, "Look, y'all, be crazy, but not too crazy."
Hey,
but
Lindsay.
yeah, you're right. Like that's the other family, but I think a lot of people look at them as like the Jacksons.
Lindsay,
you-
that was actually your clip, and we haven't heard you weigh in on that. Did you wanted to add anything?
Oh, no, I just feel like he got a happy ending. Like, that's what that shit's all about. Like, listen, you got a dream, you want to go big, you want to go after fame. You're going to do some bullshit when things don't work out for you. But like how he's like, yeah, I'm working this bullshit job, but I'm also doing reality TV. Brilliant. Brilliant. And that's, with us all being in the age where we can podcast, where we can get on YouTube, where you can self-publish. That's how you fucking do it, yo. Find the way. It's the same shit I was saying about education. You're going to run into brick walls. Find a fucking way around it.
Well, look at Will
That's
Smith.
how you
Will
do
Smith
it.
became
Don't
relevant again because of his Instagram and TikTok videos, because he has an entire fucking production crew with him. But that's how he's starting to become relevant again. No, like seriously, Jason Derulo. Who the fuck was checking for Jason Derulo? But now he makes, he's big on TikTok. Like he's one of the big, like he's getting paid. So it's going to Vegas. Now it's not a bad thing for you to have a residency and still be relevant. When
We
before
talked
it was
about
like
that.
where you went to die.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting if they brought him back for the reboot and he's like running an Amazon or something, like some shit like that, or running the company that he was working for.
I bet, like, if they brought Thugnificent back in the reboot, he would be like, they definitely would have to reference like TikTok videos that he would make, and they would
Yeah,
probably
like
be
an old school-
ridiculous
old
and
school
like
tour.
clunky and just like he's out of touch, but trying to do that whole thing.
I was gonna say he'd be like on an old school tour with like Ja Rule and fucking Chingy or something like that. Like that's. But I'm getting ready to go on the road. Like it would be something, and then like you said, maybe he'd be overweight. Maybe he doesn't
balding
like to
on
say
top,
beauty,
but still has the Afro puffs like Coolio.
Yeah. Oh, if Coolio does not let them little two fucking strands. Oh my god.
All right, so wrapping up this episode, Thugnificent calls out Granddad, wakes him up so that he can see him. In reaction, Granddad is like annoyed, of course, because it woke him up from sleep, throws a book at Leonard's camera, ending the episode. Anything you guys want to talk about that we missed in that episode before we move on to a slightly different white people question tonight?
Yeah. I'm gonna shut it down.
right.
You're almost 3 hours into it. So
Right? That's what we are creeping up on 3 hours now. For those of you who are our Patreon listeners listening at home, if you are not a Patreon listener, you're only getting about an hour of this amazing show. So you should really check it out. As little as $1 a month, you can support us and hear more content. But tonight's white people question is a little bit different. But we still have the intro.
Welcome to Stupid White People Questions.
You mean I'm gonna stay this color?
Welcome, everyone. I would like to return this burnt crack.
It's all burnt around the edges.
Today's question, I when I put the request out for Stupid White People Questions, Jeff from Those Guys Over There podcast also was one of our advocates on the latest Disputed podcast. He was advocating for Mike Lowry. He says, and he's at Jeppy Keith, JeppyKeith on TikTok and Twitter. Anyway, he says, here's a question I wish more white people would ask is, how do I clap on the 2 and 4?
Look around the room, look for the black people, and then do exactly what they're doing.
That's funny. Stop listening to Flow Rider telling you to go low, low, low. And just
right? You guys can't get low. Don't do it. Don't. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to throw out your back. Don't do it.
They're not saying do the twist. They're not saying do that all the way down to the ground. Yeah.
Watch Steve Martin and the Jerk, and then you'll see why.
Yeah. To answer that, we were talking about this recently because I was like, you know what? I want to be, this person was dancing, and look, to him, it was dancing. But after we laughed for a little bit, we were like, you know what? I want to be able to just move my body that freely and be having a good damn time. Like, I still want to have rhythm, but yeah. And then people at the campsite, they were, they weren't sober because I've never seen this many white people dance in unison on beat to EDM all at once.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah.
It was a little scary, actually, with me being on the stream. I was like, what is going on? They're all wearing the same color. They're all like, it was kind of weird. But Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber can dance. Justin Timberlake. There's not all you guys are afflicted with the clapping on the offbeat.
Yeah, that's why I told him, I said, man, I used to play bass in a rockabilly band. I said, I tried. I tried to teach him.
You did, yeah.
Or this is why TikTok was made for you guys, because all you have to do is do 5 different moves, and move and you can dance. So
I still can't dance. I can dance to goth music in a dark club where nobody's looking at me. That's when I can dance.
You can dance if you want to.
But I don't want to leave my friends behind.
Oh, look at him. He's just drumming tonight. Yeah. I have a friend, very, very good friend. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's having a convulsion. I don't know, but he's having a damn good time when he's doing it. Like, and I'm just like,
was it like Elaine from Seinfeld?
Yes.
Yeah.
What he referred to as a full motion body heave.
Yeah. His is more of like a wormy kind of like, and just his feet come off the ground, and I'm at weird times, and I'm like, I don't. Okay.
Like David Byrne.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the way that these dances are now, you got some of you. All they do now is just like lift their leg up and
lean back and kind of.
Well, that's in this episode. That was exactly when Thugnificent was like, "Oh, he could do a dance. I'm gonna do and he just leans back and like moves an arm,
got his arms.
And like literally, that's what TikTok dances are now.
Pretty much.
Well, damn, come on. That was the easiest for white people to feel like they could dance, and they kept on to that dance for way too long.
The one dance thing I liked on TikTok was the coincidence. I thought that was cute.
You are so more well versed.
Yeah, I know.
It was because it was like these. Look at me dancing. Look at me dancing.
Oh yeah,
it's like this German accent. What a coincidence!
I did.
Then the other one jumps in the other one's arms, and it was just silly.
What I've seen most recently is the Blueface, because Blueface made a song on TikTok.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, genius here. Okay, he's genius. He's thinking about the future because he did not rap on beat, and now he started to rap on beat, but he's doing other things. Like, he is not dumb. He's definitely expanding out. But for you to be the creator of the song and make a TikTok dance, that's genius. Yeah. So like, I felt like he was my son when I saw that. I was like, that is good thinking. But yeah, the floss. Oh, come on.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do it. I think because I have too much rhythm. I couldn't do it. You know, the whoa, any of these dances that have come out lately, they're made for everybody to be able to do. You know, so hey, bring back bring back hitting the whoa or something.
My daughter brought that up to me. I'm like, the what? I'm too old for that shit. I'm granddad.
You gotta hit it all hard, and you might like throw something out or pull the shoulder.
Oh God, yeah.
Like
Hard no.
I do it though.
I'm like, whoa, I'm not doing that shit.
And line dances are good too, because we see people at the resort that we go to, and they can wobble their asses off. So, group dances like that, not the electric slide. That seems to mess you guys up a little bit. But like
I mean, actually, I think the electric slide is at this point after 40 years.
Wasn't that the one that,
a lot of white people can do that one now.
Wasn't that the one that John Mulaney was dancing to on Saturday Night Live? He went to the black wedding.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cha-cha slide.
Yeah, that's a little
bit. But that was hilarious. I mean, he is so John Mulaney in everything that he does.
That one was funny. I do remember that skit. Cha-cha slide, you know, there might be a couple moves in there that confuse him a little bit, but yeah, I have to say, you know, look for somebody that is an example, a Justin Bieber, a Wade Robson way back in the day before he, you know, cheated with Britney.
A K-Fed. Oh wait,
I know nothing. I only know the K-Fed name because Britney. I didn't know the other one.
Oh, that's why her and Justin broke up, because he cheated allegedly with
allegedly.
Allegedly.
He also had a reality TV show.
He did.
And accused Michael Jackson of raping him.
And then came back and was like, "Oh no, Oprah told me to say that."
Can I say that?
Yeah. I just.
Anyways.
Stop it.
Well, on that note.
Well, hold up. I want to tell you the answer to this fucking question, dude, which MJ already started to say it. Please just don't. Don't worry about it. I'm dead ass serious. Like, y'all, when you dance, dance for yourself. Dance to feel fucking good and have fun. And if you don't like people pointing at you and laughing, then dance in your fucking bedroom. I am so serious. Dancing is all about you and you feeling yourself and having some fucking fun. Anyone else laughing at you can go eat shit. Okay?
That's the motivational poster for Lindsay. Dance like no one's watching and tell the rest of them to eat shit.
Yeah, I love it.
Put it on a t-shirt.
T-shirt right there.
I love it.
Yeah. You know, like
those are going to be her two catchphrases for this show. How you living? And
yes.
No, she has three. I'm gonna be honest, y'all.
Yeah. Or you're too nice. You're being too nice.
Yeah, you're being too nice is definitely one.
People be surprised. They'll be like, "Does she talk that?"
She doesn't. She might not talk a lot, but she's got all of the catchphrases.
She's
you
strategic.
And I just talk for like 2 hours, and she's like, "I'm gonna spend like most of this time just listening to y'all."
She's like taking notes. She's like, "This bitch." No, she didn't.
Doing my Real Housewives.
She's writing gossip stuff about you, these bitches.
No, she has a gossip girl.
Never.
No.
All right. 3 seconds to 3 hours.
All right. So just a reminder to everybody, I won't see y'all next week. If you want to find any of us on any of our other various podcasts, because all of us have different podcasts that we are on, you can find them in our show notes, and we would love for you to join all of our social medias. And anything else that I'm forgetting? No? Anything you guys need to say for your final thoughts?
Vote for me, vote for me. Voting ends September the 1st. I would love to come back the week after and be like, your bitch won. So, you know, just help me do that.
Yo.
I don't call myself bitch.
Oh, I call myself bitch.
Well, if I'm drunk, like I was Friday night.
Bitch.
Oh, this is when I felt old. Do you guys know it took me until Sunday afternoon to recover off of drinking at karaoke on Friday?
That sounds about right. You're in your 40s now. That sounds about right.
I know. Oh, yeah, allegedly.
All right. On that note,
love you guys.
I hope everybody has a fantastic week away from me. I know that I'm going to have so much fun putting my feet in the ocean somewhere where it's actually warm enough to do it.
And you're going to be feeling yourself, and you're going to send me a video of you listening to Mac Drake.
All right.
And quick PSA though, like look into all the mask shit because California, at least San Francisco especially, they're kind of like locking down.
KN95s, which are recommended by the CDC. I've got an even stronger one if I happen to be somewhere where I have to be close in with anybody. We are renting, or we got a train car or train cabin, whatever you call it, going down so we don't have to be around any other people. And we rented an Airbnb so we don't have to be around any other people. And it's the beach in the middle of the week when school is now in session. So I'm actually really not worried about it. So
I don't know how LA is doing it. I just know here, if you're going to be out and social, like you're required to have your Vax card on you. And you're also required to, if you're, and I don't think you'll be anywhere like this, any place with over 1,000 people, you need proof of a negative COVID test within.
And
I have zero desire to go anywhere where it's crowded.
So it's kind of hit or miss. Like either they're really going by the rules or they're just like, doesn't matter.
It's up in Seattle, that's basically if you have a picture of your Vax card on your phone, if you can't carry it around with you, then that's fine. They just want to see that you're vaccinated and you're wearing a mask when you're inside. And from everything I've seen so far, unless something changes in the next 3 days, it's the same rules down there. There's nothing that's closed.
You have a ball. I was trying to think of somewhere to tell you to go eat, but I don't.
I'm probably going to cook in the place the whole time. Like literally my whole reason for doing this is to spend a week at the beach.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about any of the other touristy crap that's going on down there. I have one friend that lives close enough that she's going to try and come and visit. We might go and see a roller derby bout because there's an outdoor one going on the weekend we get there.
What?
But yeah, I'm going to listen to Audible on my phone and sit in the sun with my feet in the ocean.
You're not going to WeHo and partying it up? Just kidding.
No. Definitely not.
Yeah. Nobody should do that to themselves unless they're, yeah. All right.
I love you guys. I will see you soon.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I need you to get the hell up out of here.
Hey, thanks for joining us again as we make our way through the trials and tribulations of the Freeman family. We hope to see you back again next time for the Red Ball.
Want to know where to find us on the social medias or where to subscribe to the podcast? Just head right over to www.theboondockspod.com/links.
Have a stupid white people question you want to leave us? Email us at host@theboondockspod.com or leave us a voicemail at 760-933-8636. That's 760-we-3-undo.
Shout out to the artists who've created our intro and outro tunes. Our intro is #MakeAChange by KIRK. You can find them on Spotify, iTunes, and Tidal. Our outro is Good Times by Audioventure. You can find them on freemusicarchive.org and YouTube.